Good evening and welcome. Welcome to my live stream. Here we are tonight to fight CPS and stop taking our children. Um, this is a live stream shown all over the world. Anywhere there's internet, they can see this live stream. I'm here to talk about the child protection system and how we can fight them from stop taking our children or hanging on to our children. I've been doing this now for 21 months. I started in October of 2023. Some people have been with me since I started the show. Others have come in. Some are every here twice a day. Now I'm on in the evening at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tonight I was a couple minutes late. I apologize. Now I will still give a full 60-minute running time. I have a running clock, and then I have the real clock. The real clock now says 7:16, and I've only been on for 1 minute 9 seconds. So I have 59 minutes more of this live stream. Now I'm on in the mornings, on the weekends at 8 a.m. On the weekdays, I'm on at 10 a.m. Those times are all Pacific Standard Time. The live stream is 1 hour. And during the live stream, I try to help others with their CPS case. I'm not an attorney. I'm a loving father. I've helped raise 6 children. I have 3 older children, 3 younger children. My 3 older children escaped much of the CPS. They only saw the outbound when they started investigating me. Anyway, they have families of their own. Their life is pretty stable. But my 3 youngest children were kidnapped and taken into foster care. They were trafficked. They weren't in danger, and they did a lot of illegal things. Things that you don't think about that you should know. One, you do not talk to social workers or CPS or the police without the presence of your attorney. If it's a legal matter, and a quick way to identify if you happen to run to them outside, ask them if this is a legal matter. If it is, say, time out. I need to get hold of my attorney. My attorney has to be present. I'll get back to you with a date and time we can meet. And don't meet at your home and don't meet at their office. Meet at a neutral place like Starbucks, the library, or McDonald's. There you can public record them, and so they will lie. They're a lying agency. They're an abusive agency. They do not like parents. They do not like or believe in family reunification. Now, it seems like over the 2,500 people I've talked to you here on this live stream, they have the similar thing that I did. A very corrupt CPS, came on the scene and did you wrong, all because you're low income. Now, that's one thing we all have in common. We're low income. Some of us are indigent, which means you're poor. And you can barely make ends meet. But anyway, I come on here and I keep hoping that I do help some people here because they've come back and told me I do help. We have lots of people that need help. We've also got into other areas besides child protection system. We got into adult protection system, and we've gotten into eviction. And so I am talking about other life skills. I can talk about eviction. I can talk about adult protection services, or the main theme is child protection services. That's what our attorney is, Vincent W. Davis. He is a juvenile juvenile law, family law, dependency lawyer, dependency law. Those 3 areas of law you must have within an attorney. And I always mention Mr. Davis because he's the one that started this live stream, and he's a hell of an attorney. He helped defend me and got my kids back. Now, I put up on my screen a banner, how to make comments. Please follow it. If you want to text me a message, follow it. It's self-explanatory. Now, another one is if you want to be on my live stream. I just put that up for you. You're going to contact my show producer, Grace. Her email's there. You just pick one of my 14 live streams. I want to be a Bob Sunday morning show or Bob Saturday night show or Bob Friday morning show or Wednesday. You just pick either morning or night and Monday through Sunday. It's 7 days a week I do this. I've not missed a day yet. I have had different difficult times. I've had some times with my time ahead because in the fall is high school football, and I follow it quite closely by going to the games on Friday Night Lights. So I'm glad you came here. I'm glad you found this place. Now, she'll send you a link when you write into her, and you'll be on a program called SteamYard. It's a software application that uses YouTube, and I can take up 9 of you at one time. Now, another way to interact with this live stream is to call in. My number is there, 626-698-0990. 626-698-0990. And I gladly take your call. Now, whether you call in on my phone, because I only do one at a time, or you're a guest on my show, I can do 9 of you, with me makes 10, you'll get a free 15-minute private Zoom consultation with Mr. Davis by calling in or being on my live stream. Now, there's my number, 626-698-0990. Now, I have another number up there, but I have Jen Penny Bullen. Welcome, Jen Penny. And where may you be from? Yes, I agree, just because you're low income. Why? Because no one thinks about getting insurance. You see, there is insurance called legal insurance that help pay for the retainers and help you fight your legal matters. It's not like a legal aid. I'm talking about legal insurance. It's like medical insurance, homeowners insurance, car insurance, pet insurance, appliance insurance, car repair insurance. There's all these insurances out there. And legal insurance costs about 50 to a dollar a day, about $365 a year. And they will pay the retainers, the $50,000 retainers, $100,000 retainers. They'll help you fight your case. That's what the purpose of legal insurance is. So look into it. That's my life skill that I'm telling you about. Look into getting insurance. And Jen is from Peoria, Illinois. And welcome, Jen. Thank you for coming in, Jen. And Cruella, welcome. Hi, Cruella. I like how you call me Uncle Bob. But Cruella is from Oxnard, California, and she's in the Ventura County of the Child Protection System. And she has a 2-part case. One part of the case is with Child Protection Services. She has her 2 sons that are dads, and her dad won't give them back. And they're investigating her. Also, the family has turned against her and want her out of the home that she was living in, taking care of her mom. Mom owns the home, but they want to evict her, and she's going to be evicted on the 22nd, which is Tuesday. She has one more day to fight this eviction. Last week, I gave her the name of a retired judge who's a lawyer in evictions. He specializes in evictions. He's in Oxnard, California. All he wants is $5. That's refundable, I guess, towards you if you hire him or something like that. But you need to talk to him because you have to prove your case. You have to prove that there's no negligence on your part. You didn't have a rental agreement. You're staying there because you're family. And your brother has no right, even though he may be a POA, a power of attorney, he doesn't have title to your mom's home, or your mom does. So your mom is the one that decides. You got to have your mom in court to defend you. And you got to ask your brother, what cause did they have to get you out of there? In Oxnard, they gave you 3 or 4 causes and 2 types. If the owner has to move in, which is your mom, and she has to remodel it, she could ask you to leave. But in your case, it isn't a rental. You aren't paying payments. You're staying there free because you stayed there all your life. You're a child of your family there, and your mom has title to the home. Your brother only has power of attorney to make legal decisions for your mom. But you need to be a caregiver for your mom because she needs you. You need to, you know, adopt your mom. You need her. And I know that she's been taken away from you and placed in your brother's home, but you need to flesh her out. She needs to come to court. But you have tomorrow to file a continuance of the case that is going to evict you on Tuesday. You need to delay the continuance. You need to have the motion made that I want to delay the eviction because I have new information that I wanted to show the court. That's what you need to do. Okay? Cruella, her real name is Felicia. Okay? How does legal insurance works? It works just like your car insurance. You pay a premium. You may have a deductible, a $250 deductible. But it's like all the other insurance. You pay a premium. It's paid monthly. So if it's $365 a year, it's going to be $1 a day. So it may be $30 a month premium. But that will get you full-time attorney and the right kind you may need. Now, Jen has been raised and born in Texas. And you're welcome for the warm welcome because you are. You're part of my family. Everybody comes here is family. And I try to help you. I try to help you. I try to help you. Now, one moment, please. I have to excuse myself from the show, so there'll be a silence. I'll be off the stage for 1 moment, please. 1 moment, please. I cannot do apologize. I had to leave, but I'm back here. And I know you will tomorrow, Cruella. That's good news. Tomorrow I'll be going to the courthouse bright and early when it opens. I have decoration instructions on emergency filings and requests to have a same day hearing. You need to also ask for a continuance so it gives you time to meet with that law firm that's in Oxnard that'll help you with eviction. Where will I be filing a motion to stay evicted? Well, it's the same court that's handling your evictions. The clerk will help you out. You need to ask the clerk, how do I file a motion with new evidence to delay my eviction? I want to make a motion. So you can do that. Also, you get a hold of that law firm and talk to the retired judge on evictions. He will help you. He will help you. And you said you had $5. That's the only money I saw that they wanted. And I've already told you where they get it. I've already told you where they get it. I guess I keep repeating myself, but let me see here for evictions now. Okay, I'm looking for that thing again. Here it is, City of Oxnard eviction laws. Remember, there are two types of evictions. There are at fault evictions and non fault evictions in Oxnard. The at fault evictions include failure to pay rent, breach of lease terms, causing a nuisance, meaning you're making the place a miserable in the neighborhood or whatever, or any kind of criminal activity. I know you have no at fault evictions. Now, the new fault evictions are such as the owner moving into the property, substantial remodeling, or compliance with government orders. Okay? So, those are the only evictions that they can get from you. This is Oxnard. I'm not speaking anywhere else but Oxnard. Okay? Also, there's something called relocation assistance. If a tenant is evicted for a new fault reason, the landlord must provide relocation assistance equal to 2 months' rent or 5,000, which is ever greater. Well, you weren't paying rent, so um, you could ask for 5,000. The assistance must be paid within 50 days of the eviction notice. Landlords must provide written notice to tenants. So your mom must provide a eviction notice, not your brother. Your brother has nothing to do with the eviction. He's overstepped his bounds because you've allowed a commissioner to run your courtroom instead of a judge. But there's all the legal system I'm finding for the city of Oxnard. It's straightforward. It's right there. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to do it. Now, if you want to speak to this eviction in Oxnard, you're going to speak to George B. Kay, who's a landlord tenant lawyer. He's a retired federal judge and he's an attorney specialized in landlord tenant issues. And for $5, they will talk to you. I had a chat bot named Pearl, who is a landlord tenant lawyer assistant. You have to join Just Answer for $5, fully refundable. You fill out the this out and you tell your landlord. Now, see, I understand. You don't have a landlord. It's your mom's home, your family. You're part of the family. In fact, you're probably on the will. I don't know where your brother stands on that. Just because he's a power of attorney and takes care of the loan, but he's not the title holder. There's a big difference. I should know. I've been through eviction. I know about eviction. You need to go, but I'll try to come again another meeting. I hope so, Jen Bullen. I hope so. It is so wonderful you're doing this. CPS has hurt too many people. Thank you, Jen. And I appreciate you coming to my room. Again, you can see me tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Monday morning. At 10 a.m. Monday morning. Okay? 10 a.m. This is Jen Pretty Bolin signing off. She's from Pretoria, Illinois, and she has a horrible CPS case. So, Corilla, you're all set for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be your most busiest life ever because you got to do that. So, is everybody hearing me okay? Is there any problem not having hearing me okay? I'm double checking that. Is my lighting okay? Is my lighting okay? It's very important to have good lighting. I had a light bulb for the first time after 2,000 shows, live streams, burn out right at the start of my show. So, because that one time I was scolded for something that was beyond my control, and I was told no excuses, you have to have proper lighting. Hello, Alexis Thompson. Is CPS ever going to be held accountable and better trained? Yes. Good news. There's a government entity called DOGE, Department of Government Equivalency, Efficiency, Government Efficiency. They are investigating all the government entities out there, and social services is one of them. And the child protection system is a part of social services. I know this for a fact because I had an intake worker call me a couple weeks ago on a Friday about some aid I was trying to get for me and my family. And on the phone was a supervisor from DOGE, from Washington, D.C., saying they're investigating the Orange County Social Services and making sure that clients, me, are treated fairly and respectfully because so many of the people in social service are rude and they disrespectful. And so that was nice to hear because they are investigated. Because right now, CPS makes over $1 trillion a year. Not make it, but they make it themselves in bonuses and cash advances. They send billions to the state, and the state sends millions to the county. So it's really sad because they get a lot of money. They get $20,000 to take your child. They get another 15,000 if they are special needs child. So that's 35,000. And if they get that child adopted into foster care, they get a bonus of 35,000. It's all about money when CPS is interested. They're not interested in family reunification, which you're trying to go through. And yes, CPS will be accountable, Alexis Thomas. And what part of the world are you from, Alexis Thomas? Where are you from? Now, I've developed 5 rules. I talked to them about different times of the show. I don't want to sound redundant, but the 5 rules are simple and something I wish I'd known because I never would have lost my children to CPS. One, you have to get a real attorney that's trained in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. Not a criminal attorney, not an immigration attorney. Your court appointed attorneys aren't trained in juvenile law, family law, or dependency law. You run a big risk of losing your case with a court appointed attorney. They're not there to fight. They have a caseload of 30 to 100 clients. They don't have time to fight. They don't have time. Anyway, we're now at the 24-minute mark of running time. It's now 7:47 or 7:40. I'm sorry, 7:40. And my show normally goes to 8 o'clock, but I'm going to go beyond it by 15 minutes because I started late and I want to make sure you guys get the full hour. Okay, Alexis Thomas is from Florida. Great, glad to have you. What part of Florida are you from? What part of Florida are you from? I'm open to questions. I was just starting to talk about rules. One is to get an attorney. And I have that attorney, by the way. His name is Vincent W. Davis. He works out of LA. His retainer for the LA County area is approximately $5,000. That's to get the case started. Now, retainers are always determined by the complexity of the case and how long the case has been going on. And he will go and fight in other states, but it costs you more money because He has transportation expenses, air and ground. He has hotel accommodations and food expenses. Plus, he has to pay for a license for the practice law in that state. No attorney keeps 50 state law license up. It's too much money. It's a waste of money to spend if you're not going to be practicing law in that state. But he can go to any state. Right now, I quoted a family in Georgia at 125,000 for him to come there. And up in Wisconsin, it was the same thing, 125 up at Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So, he will help you all. He really does. So it's so important to get that attorney. Now, he has 37 years of fighting CPS and gotten back thousands of children. He's a trial attorney. He's a pit bull of attorney. He also does civil lawsuits. After a case is over, he'll help you sue CPS and win millions of dollars back. He's won millions of dollars for your violation of your constitutional rights or your civil rights, which happen all the time easily by this corrupt agency. Now, Jen Bolin from Florida had to leave, so she said her goodbye, but she'll be back. Alexis Thomas says she's from Florida. I'm sorry, Jen is from Illinois. I was getting already confused. We have Carilla from California. Let me see who else we have here. Yeah, I've already answered that one, Alexis. They are going to be held accountable because there's Doge. There's Doge. Now I'm open up to questions. Now Felicia is talking about a new law. AB 2347 approves my brother lacks standing to evict. He's not the property owner, therefore no authority to evict. There's been an invalid eviction proceeding as well. Well, yes, I told you that a long time ago, that your brother's not owner of your property. The only person that can do that is a property management or the owner of the property. Your brother's not party. Your brother lacks the standing to evict. It says that right in Oxnard. Is this a bluff employee that gets you jump? And it's wrong that your brother's doing that. He's your half brother. He doesn't care. All he cares about is the money from his mom. Well, the reason why your mom didn't show up in court, Cruella, is because your brother kidnapped your mom. He's at your mom's house. You know that by driving by, you saw the blinds open and close a bunch of times. You need to do a welfare check. You should have had him in a guardianship of your mother. You should, since you're a caregiver, all you caregivers out there, you need to be guardianship. That way, there's no questions about who takes care of elderly people because there's a lot of elderly abuse that takes place. There's Adult Protection Service. APS is Adult Protection Services. Anybody over the age of 18 is supposed to be protected. If you're 75 years old, you're protected. If you're 100 years old, you're protected. AB 2347. Let's look what that looks like. Okay, California law AB. Okay. Okay, what was it? AB 2347. AB 2347. 2347. Okay, AB 23 is the new eviction rules in California. I found it. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Key rule changes, even California landlords should know. California AB 23 went into effective January 1st, 2025, bringing significant updates to eviction procedures and tenant protections. These charges aim to provide tenants with more time to respond to eviction notice while introducing stricter guidelines for landlords managing the eviction process. For housing providers, understanding and adapting to these new rules is crucial to avoid legal pitfalls and ensure compliance. If you're unsure about how the AB 2347 affects your rental operations or want to streamline your process, give us a call at 858 207 4595. That's the Good Life Property Management. We're here to help you stay compliant and protect your investment. Now, key takeaways: tenants now have more time to respond to eviction notice, 10 court days instead of 5. If you serve them by mail, add another 5 days to that timeline. If a tenant files a motion or a demur, you need to act fast. Hearings for these must happen within 5 to 7 court days. These changes are optional, so make sure you're updating your process to stay on the right side of the law. Planning ahead is key. Delay evictions can mean lost time and money. Now, what is AB 2347? Why does it matter? It's a new California law that increases tenant protection during eviction proceedings by extending response timelines and revising procedures for tenant motions. The law aims to make the eviction process fair for tenants while adding new compliance required for landlords. For housing providers, the change means adapting the eviction process to meet updated timelines and requirements. Failure to comply could result in delay evictions and legal disputes or penalties. Extended tenant response time. Under AB 2347, tenants now have 10 court days, excluding weekends and holidays, to respond to eviction complaint, doubling the 5-day window. Additional time is given for mail service. If the eviction notice is served by mail or through programs like Secretary of State Address Confidential Program, tenants get an extra 5 days to respond. What this means for landlord: expect longer timelines for processing eviction cases. Plan accordingly, ensure your legal team or property manager is familiar with the new deadlines. Now, revised procedures for demurs and motions. Tenants now can file motions to challenge an eviction complaint, such as the demur or motions to strike. These motions may be heard within 5 to 7 court days unless there's good cause for the delay. What are demurs? A demur challenges the legality and validity of an eviction complaint, potentially requiring landlords to revise or refile. Felicia, your brother is not the title holder. He can't evict you, or your mom can. So you need to file a demur to challenge the legal validity of that eviction. Work with your legal team to anticipate and respond to tenant motions quickly. These tighter timelines mean landlords need to act fast. Now, this is for landlords who prepare for AB 2347. Update your eviction process. Adjust your timelines procedures to reflect the new response periods and hearing schedules. Train your team. Ensure your property manager and staff understand the updated rules and know how to handle tenant motions and responses. Partner with legal experts, consult an attorney or property management company to help you navigate the updated eviction process. Where to help you to navigate the AB 2347. These new eviction laws that could impact how you manage your rental property. A Good Life Property Management, we specialize in helping landlords stay compliant with California evolving laws for protecting their investment. What is AB 2340? Was to take effect as a California law that updates the eviction timeline and procedures to increase tenant protection. January 1st, 2025. How do tenants have to respond to eviction complaint? They have 10 days to do so. They have 10 days. Demurrage motions allow tenants to challenge the legal validity of eviction complaints. For those motions must occur with 5 to 7 days. What happens if landlords don't comply with the AB 2347? They could lead to delays in eviction cases, legal disputes, and potential penalties. Proper documentation and adherence to the new timelines are essential. Anyway, I just went over a lot of eviction for you, Corilla. So you should have it. Now, does anyone else have any other questions? I have right now, I have now 20 minutes left of my show. 20 minutes left of my show. One moment, please. I'm going to excuse myself. There will be no voice for a couple minutes. I'll be right back. Again.
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry.
Why are you doing this right now?
And I need to finish up my live stream right now. We have about 15 minutes left.
1 minute.
And I know it's almost 8 o'clock, but I started 15 minutes late. But I do want to help you all. The last person in this room was Alexis Thomas from Florida. And CPS has got to be trained and you got to be accountable. And Jen Pretty Bolin from Peoria, Illinois, thank you for coming here. I hope to come by again. Now, Corilla, you're being evicted on Tuesday, the 22nd. You need to know the eviction laws. Your mother is the owner on the property. You need to show the title of the property with your mother as the owner. Your brother tried to evict you, which is illegal. Now, you have to understand you're dealing with a commissioner instead of a judge because you allowed a commissioner to be a referee of your court case. Now, I don't know if you can change that or not because once you say, I'm okay with the commissioner, you can't change back to a judge. A commissioner is a learning judge. Commissioner, anytime you're in a legal matter, do not ever have your case decided by a commissioner. And so, anyway, I'm sitting here and I'm trying my best to help you all. Now, if I speak too loud, I'll slow down my voice because a lot of times you guys can't see you hear me. So I talk loud enough so that you can hear me. But anyway, I'm here to help you. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a loving father and a husband, and have helped raise 6 children. I have 42 years of marriage, and I have a lot of life skills I could talk to you about. One tonight was getting legal insurance. People forget to get legal insurance. You need it because you need to hire an attorney. Can you imagine doing open heart surgery yourself? Can you imagine opening up the cavity of your chest and pulling the heart out and try to surgically fix it? Well, that's how CPS is. So anybody that says, I can't afford it and I can't get, then you're doing open heart surgery. You know you're going to get a doctor. And in open heart surgery, there's medical insurance. So you need to have legal insurance. It works the same way. It works the same way. Now, CPS is being investigated. All of the social services are being investigated because there's too long that people have been paying people that are dead, people that sit at home and paid and they don't work. Those people are being investigated. And we're trying to save trillions and trillions of dollars. Trillions and trillions of dollars. And so, anyway, um, I I really encourage you to get an attorney. Now, I got my attorney by a quick sale of my house. It's very expensive. And I didn't get an attorney at first. I used a court appointed attorney, and it was a waste of time. My attorney was a woman, and I guess women, but she did not know how to fight. She would only see me in the hallway during the court hearing. Now, in Orange County, I was allowed to go inside the courtroom. My wife wasn't either, which is wrong. You need to be in the courtroom at all facets of your trial, your hearings. You need to be representative too. You need to be on top of that. It's very, very, very important that you know about CPS and the evil parts of it. We can't change it overnight, but things. I have my rule number 3. You don't open the door to strangers. Policemen and social workers are strangers. Policemen carry guns. Guns do kill. And I've heard too many crazy stories about how innocent black airmen in the United States Air Force in Gainesville, Florida, was shot 5 times in the chest because he opened the door because the sheriff had the wrong place. The sheriff had the wrong place. And that being said was really tough. That was really, really, really tough when that happened. So I'm telling you that you got to know this. Think of the home as your castle. Think of the door as a drawbridge. In medieval time, when the drawbridge was up, the castle was closed. You need to instruct your family members not to open up the door. If a knock comes at the door or a ring bell comes at the door, have a special ring, have a special knock so that they can get in the home. But you should not allow strangers into your home. When they get in a home, they look around. They do a quick survey of the place. They're looking for evidence. They don't have all the evidence they need. If they did, they'd just simply file
Wow,
paperwork
right there.
and take you to court. They wouldn't just do it just with no evidence. So they're looking for evidence. Also, you don't want to talk to them. If you talk to them, then they will end up, using what you said against you. They're really bad habits of doing that. And they're very corrupt and not very well trained. Now, I'm not saying all CPS is bad, but over 2,500 people I've talked to have had bad CPS, whether they're in Indonesia, Bangladesh, India, or up in the Middle East to Saudi Arabia or Libya, or over to Africa, to Liberia, to Sudan, to Republic of Congo, to Rwanda, to Mozambique, or down to South Africa and the provinces down there. Then up to Europe, to the United Kingdom of England, Scotland, Wales, to Denmark and Sweden. Then across the pond to North America, we have Canada and its provinces. And then we have the United States and all its states have called in, all 50 states, including the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. That's not a state. They have been a case there too. Then I have also um, south of the border, I have Mexico. Then in South America, north of Brazil, on the East Coast, I have Grenada. Then across the South Pacific, I have New Zealand. And then down further south is a land down under called Australia and its states. So there's a lot of people I've talked to, and a lot of people worldwide, they're experiencing the child protection system. And you have to be prepared. Now, hello, Charlie Hutchison. Charlie Hutchison is from where? I see you, Charlie or Charles, but I don't know where part in the world you're from. We've had lots of emojis tonight. We have 5 emojis. We have from Charles Hutchison, thank you. From Dana Hoffman, another thank you. From Calixton Cook, that's Dorothy Cook, and she's in North Carolina. We have Donna Yansasky, and I think Donna Yansasky is from Ukraine. But thank you, Donna. And then we have Cynthia Marks. Okay, and then those, by the way, are people that care. There's 5 of you really care, and I'm glad to hear from you. Then in love, I have the Facebook love. I have Dana Hoffman and Cynthia Marks. Thank you for your love. Then I have a thumbs up, Charles Hutchison and Donna Yanosky. Thank you all. Thank you all for being in there. Now we have about 9 minutes left of my running time. It's at it's at 7 minutes after 8, and I'll be done in 9 minutes or less. Um, but I want to, thank you all for listening. And you have to be careful. There's nothing wrong with saying no to people that come into your home. That's not against the law. You don't have to talk to them. If you encounter social service or police outside, or you're picked up on the street for maybe a no seatbelt on your kids because they don't have a car seat, or you're drunk or whatever, be very careful what you say. You need to ask for an attorney. If anybody writes you a ticket, or cite you, arrest you, you have the right to be represented by an attorney through all legal proceedings, including the hearing in CPS. Now, CPS uses lay people and professional um, mandated reporters. The professional mandated reporters are your doctors, your nurses, then your teachers, your counselors, administrators, then your caregivers, and then your police and firemen. All those individuals work professionally with children. They are trained to recognize neglect and abuse, and they're trained how to report. But even those reports come in, of the 4,200,000 people, 2 million were unsubstantiated. That means 50%, almost 50%. Those are from your professional. Now, the lay people are like your relatives and your brothers and sisters and cousins and acquaintances and the people down the store. They're about 75% wrong. They're about 70. They use it for retaliation. If they don't like your neighbor's dog barking, they're going to call that neighbor's dog, the owner, and say there's a CPS matter in his home. Or if they don't like the way the yard grows, they'll call in and say that person, has a CPS matter. It's so sad that a lot of the lay people use CPS for their own means. It could be an angry spouse, a spouse that gets mad at her husband or wife and tries to alienate the children. Alienation is illegal. Trafficking is illegal, but CPS gets away with trafficking our children into foster care. In fact, it's so bad that in 1997, President Bill Clinton signed into law the Incentive Act, which means that they give a bonus of $35,000 per child that's adopted into foster care. That bonus is paid to the local CPS entity that had that done. They'd rather you be adopted into foster care than do family reunification. That is really sad. So keep that all in mind, what I've told you out there. Um, we have about 5 minutes. I'm wrapping it up because I don't want anybody that has anything the last minute. And sometimes people come in at the last minute. Now, it's been a long day. I know most of you Sunday night, but I'm here twice a day. Please follow me. Please ask me. I will help you. I care about you so much. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a loving father. I have raised 6 children and a loving husband with 42 years of marriage. Now, life is not always great. You have to be careful out there. And one thing is, you got to show respect and be very professional when dealing with this entity. I know it's kind of hard. I took my anger against CPS. I tried to force issues and made it worse. It was so sad that I had our daughter forced to do emancipation from the parents, meaning the CASA, the court appointed CASA, the court appointed service associate or advocate. It's an advocate, service advocate. Anyway, they tricked my daughter. My daughter was very precocious. She listened to the social worker, she listened to the CASA worker. The CASA was terrible. They reinforced what she thought was being fed to her. And the social worker was caught on court committing perjury. And my attorney, Vincent Davis, did it. But she retaliated and she said, "You're never going to see your daughter again." So she had her daughter not only divorce us, emancipate from the whole family, but also change her name, completely change her name, and seal her birth certificate up so that she wasn't born by us. She got a new birth certificate, and she was smart that she thought she'd get a secondary social security card, which that means right now, my social security was paying that family that she was being adopted by for extra money. It's about $1,000. You see, when you have children at the age of 60 or later, you get additional money from your retirement plan. So they were giving me additional money to help take care of my 3 children. Anyway, when she was taken from our hands, they grabbed the money. They are a bad habit of grabbing money. Today I was speaking with someone that was being evicted, another person. And this person was taking care of his dad, who's a veteran. Now, his dad was receiving $9,000 a month as a veteran, which is a lot of good money. But they also were paying the son an additional $3,000 to take care of. So he had a written decree from veterans to take care of his dad. And so he had 10, 11, he had $12,000 to take care of both of them. And $12,000 is a lot of money. It cost me $10,000 a month to live in my home. That's my expenses. I mean, that was when I was in my roughest years. I was spending $15,000 a month in expenses because I had property taxes, I had mortgages, I had a second amendment, first amendment, so forth. So I really want to say that there is hope out there. All you have to do is ask me. All you have to do is ask me for help, and I will help you. You can ask Cruella. I've helped her. I helped a family from Santa Clarita that their 4-month daughter was forced to have her appendix removed when it shouldn't have been removed. They were trying to charge the parents with medical neglect. And the parents went along with it, even though the doctor made a mistake and misdiagnosed the appendix. It was gallbladder stones. It was on the left side of her abdomen, but the appendix is on the right side. That's where the pain is supposed to be. There was no pain over there. So the social worker forced the parents in the hospital to take out the appendix. Now, I found out that appendix is a vital organ. It helps children get immunity from certain things when they're growing. So there is a reason for appendix, same thing as for tonsils. You don't want to necessarily remove organs. There's got to be a reason. You got to look this up. You got to look at it there. I learned a lot about appendix. I learned about gallstones. They should have done an X-ray, but all they did was an MRI. Well, they didn't do an MRI. They did a sonogram. And they said, oh, it's got to be appendix. It's got to be appendix. The doctor said it. And the social worker says, you parents are bad. I'm going to charge you neglect because you're not having your daughter who's 4 years old, who is excruciating pain so bad. Anyway, you got to be careful out there. There's medical trafficking out there. Social workers are bad. They will end up making your life miserable. You got to have help there. You got to have help. So it's now been 1 minute and 1 hour I've written my show. It's 16 minutes after the hour of 8. I want to say first, thank you all for being on my show. I want to thank Charles Hutchison. I have no idea where you're from, but maybe the next time you tell me. I want to thank Alexis Thomas from Florida. I want to thank Joe Pretty Ballin from Purporial, Illinois. I want to thank Cruella Do a Trick, who is Felicia from Oxnard, California, and Ventura County in California. I want to talk to you tomorrow, Cruella. Tomorrow's your last day. And let me see who else.
I have this. I don't have it.
Corn? Okay. Anyway, I want to thank you all for listening. God bless you all. And please listen to this message from Vincent Davis. And do not stop fighting for your children. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against, then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the
last ones left. Put your faith